during the week in practice. Robbie Abdullah and rookie Dwight Smith are back to receive the opening kickoff. And Dwight Smith and a whistle and went out of bounds at the 3. So they've been having problems with Dwight Smith and handling kicks. And he went out of bounds at the 4-yard line. So an ill-fated start right now for Tampa Bay. The offensive line, rookie Kenyatta Walker, the #1 pick, struggling. 2 former Vikings, Randall McDaniel and Jeff Christie, with Cozy Coleman and Jerry Wunsch. Keyshawn Johnson, the leading receiver in the NFC. And Mike Alstott getting the call with Warwick Dunn sideline. And Riedel Anthony starting with Jacquez Green hurt. And here is Alstott giving ground and knocked into the end zone. And they'll say he was stopped at the 1-yard line with his forward motion.
You know, you talk about this football team, and some of the problems that they've had over the last couple of games is that they've started the game with poor field position. Dwight Smith made a bad mistake on the kickoff return, bobbles the ball, goes out of bounds, sets him up, you know, on the 4-yard line, which is not ideal field position, especially when you're talking about an offensive football team that's been struggling.
Now it's even worse. They're on the 1-yard line. 2nd down and 13. Jameel Cook is the fullback. 2 tight ends. And a stutter count and the handoff to Cook, the upback. He picks up 2 yards, so it'll be 3rd and long. The Viking defensive unit, and they've been blitzing a lot more lately. Winfield Garnett and Stalin Colonnay start for the 2nd straight week on the right side. McDaniel, Kylie Wong with his first NFL touchdown on an interception last week, and Lemansky Hall, rookie Eric Kelly, and Kenny Wright are the corners, and Orlando Thomas and Henry Jones the safeties. 3rd down and 11 from the Tampa Bay 3. And on the rollout, Brad Johnson looking to throw, and the pass is caught for the 1st down. Riedel Anthony. So a clutch pass completion by the Buccaneers gets them out of early trouble.
You know, this is a guy that they're going to be relying on heavily today. Riedel Anthony working against Kenny Wright. Just a simple little sprint out by Brad Johnson. Riedel does a nice job of getting Kenny Wright running up the field. Turns up there on the sideline, makes the catch for 1st down.
Riedel Anthony coming in with only 4 receptions. Thus his 5th catch of the year. 1st down for Tampa Bay on the 16th. And the pressure coming in, and here is Alstott. He looks like a fullback. He is not a fullback, but he can be elusive in his own right, and he picks up 6 yards before Tyrone Carter brings him down.
And the good thing this week is Mike Alstott took snaps at halfback, and he's going to get an opportunity to play halfback today. In the past, with Warwick Dunn's uncertainty, he would take the snaps there and then move to fullback. So the coaches were very excited about the fact that they would be able to keep that same method that they had during the practice week. And I'd like to see Mike pounded into this defensive front. Stay with the run. Don't abandon it. Commit to it early in the football game and continue to run him into that defense.
2nd and 4 on the delay. Alstott is brought down at the 20-yard line and a loss of a couple of yards. And that was Ed McDaniel on the play. Alstott playing in place of the injured Warwick Dunn when the Packers came to town, had a big day, including a 39-yard touchdown run.
Well, he's the type of guy that, you know, you can't have him in and out of the game situationally. He's one that's going to get stronger as the game wears on. And one of the things that Tampa Bay has not done with the running game is really commit to it. They've just kind of gradually, used it here and there. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that they're falling behind in these football games.
Aaron Stecker, the 3rd down back, checks in on 3rd and 6. Out of the shotgun for the 1st time. Brad Johnson getting time. Keyshawn Johnson, the intended receiver, cannot hold on. He's hit by Kenny Wright, and that will bring up 4th down. So after all of that, the Bucs could give the Vikings some good field position here, Troy.
Well, and what's happened so many times over their season is that on 3rd downs, they've not done a great job of converting 3rd downs. On that particular play there, that even if Keyshawn is able to make that difficult catch, he's not in a position to even pick up the 1st down because the route was not at proper depth.
Mark Royals will kick from inside the 10-yard line. Nate Jacquet. And this kick, not a good one, and will be down by Chris Walsh at midfield. So here the Vikings hold the Bucs midfield when we come back.
U.S. Atlas, $20.
I can't see their faces, only the shadows of their eyes.
Scorebooks, stickers, schedules, $90.
I'm going where the sun keeps shining through the pouring rain. Going
A used tire, some new wipers, $68.
banking off of the northeast wind.
Stamps and postcards, $15.
Skipping over the ocean like a snow.
One summer, two friends, 30 stadiums, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard, preferred card and devoted fan of Major League Baseball.
Fox NFL Sunday, brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL, official airline of Super Bowl 36.
The Minnesota Vikings with an opportunity here, and this is a team that Chris Carter says when we are cocky, we don't do well. When we're a little scared, we perform better, and he said before the game that this team is not cocky despite the fact that they have won 3 of their last 4 following an 0-2 start. They'll begin this drive, their first of the game in Tampa Bay territory at the 48. Dante Culpepper slings it out to Doug Chapman, and Chapman, the running back, picking up about 5 yards. Pushed out of bounds by Brian Kelly. Offensive line for the Vikings. Corbin Lucina is back as a starter at left guard. Matt Burke anchors it all at center. Randy Moss and Chris Carter, as Moose said, maybe reversing their roles. Doug Chapman again for Michael Bennett. Line Saucer and Chamberlain have also been weapons this year. There is Moss lining up at the top on 2nd down and 5. Culpepper getting some pressure, but he can answer it. And Culpepper diving to the 40-yard line will be 2 yards short of the first down with Duncan and Brooks in on the play. Defensively for Tampa Bay, Warren Sapp still with only 1 quarterback sack on the season. And Derek Brooks, who has been injured, but playing hurt, and that has affected the Buccaneers as well. Brian Kelly starting for Donnie Abraham, who has been the perennial starter since his rookie year at cornerback. So there's Sapp, and 3rd down and 2 coming up for the Vikings. And we are going to have a timeout called by Minnesota. We'll be right back.
How you doing?
Hey, Bill.
Hello.
These guys took care of that thing, right?
Hey, Mikey, we take care of that thing?
Hey, Nicky, you took care of that thing, right?
Yeah, sure. Come on, please. Hey, did you take care of that thing yet?
Yeah.
You took care of that thing, right?
Hold on.
Yep.
You heard that?
Yeah.
You took care of that thing, right?
This Friday,
Just like that, we're breaking up.
Oh, we're never going out.
at a special sneak preview. Come out! Believing is seeing.
He hypnotized you. I saw a knockout. I don't care what anybody else saw.
Gwyneth Paltrow, Jack Black,
What is...
Jason Alexander,
You want to see a splash?
Shallow Hal, directed by the Farrelly brothers.
Hey! Daddy!
Rated PG-13. Special sneak preview Friday.
Same old, same old. I'm going dry.
24. It's the premiere you must not miss. 24, Tuesday, November 6th on Fox.
You know, this is something that the Minnesota Viking coaches want to see Dante Culpepper do. And on that last run that he had, he took a shot to the nose, and he had to call a timeout, come over to the sidelines, and he's got blood coming out of his nose. You watch him here, and Jamie Duncan comes in with that blow right there to the helmet, is what caused something to Dante's nose. He broke his nose or did something to where he's got some blood coming out of it. And last week, Dante Culpepper was able to run the ball very effectively, and he's been able to do that through the season. And that's something they've got to concern themselves with, the hits he's going to be taking.
And as you said at the outset, the Bucs defense last in the NFL, 52% third down. 3rd and 2, in motion, Chris Carter, and Culpepper's pass incomplete, not even close. And the intended receiver was Carter, so the Buccaneers right now are 1 for 1. And 4th down coming up, and Mitch Berger will come in to kick.
Well, that was a big 3rd down stop there for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's an area, as we mentioned, that they've really been struggling at, one of the worst in the league at stopping teams on 3rd down. To be able to stop them here and keep them from getting another set of downs to where they would have an opportunity to at least get a field goal is very big at this point.
So Mitch Berger will be kicking, and Carl Williams back deep for the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay has never returned a kick for a touchdown in their franchise history. And Berger's kick heading for the end zone and almost out of the end zone. So Berger, I'm sure, wanted to kick it high and keep it in play, but the wind could be a factor. We'll be right back. No score.
Plan has changed. I'm going to stand this thing on its head.
Nobody gets the goods like you, Joe.
Anybody can get the goods. The hard part's getting away. Cut him off.
Where's the goal? I hate to do anything as dramatic as count to 3, but 1, 2, 3.
Gene Hackman, Danny DeVito, in a film by David Mamet. Heist.
Everybody needs money. That's why they call it money.
Rated R. Starts November 9th.
Hey, it's Dark Mountain Roast Coffee. Real robust, full-body coffee. Always fresh. As good or better than any coffee house. And it costs less. Dark Mountain Roast Coffee. Only at 7-Eleven. Get it while it's hot. It's always hot. Yeah. Oh, Kevin.
Hey, pal, when did you see the light?
I was working away from home. On my own dime, it's crazy to stay anywhere but Motel 6. I could take the extra money and invest it in something.
Yeah, like pizza.
Call us and see the light for yourself. Oh, I like that, Vanessa.
I don't know, Ving. I think it needs something.
No matter where you bought your home entertainment gear, Radio Shack has the best accessories. From universal remotes and adapters to gold cables, which improve sound and picture. Radio Shack has it all.
What do you think of this?
Not in this lifetime.
Radio Shack.
This fall, get ready for parenthood. Bernie Mac style.
Go to the hall closet. Give me some toilet tissue.
I can't reach it.
The Bernie Mac Show.
Stay in the kitchen.
Series premiere Wednesday, November 14th on Fox.
No score, just under 10 minutes remaining in the first quarter. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who do not have the services of Warwick Dunn today, who's out with a strained hamstring. He had a sprained foot earlier in this year and missed the game against the Packers. Bucs beginning from the 20-yard line. Here's Brad Johnson and overthrows Alstott coming out of the backfield. Now for a game break, let's check in with the
Rams over the Saints. Back to Dick, Troy, and Darrell.
Wish they get a little imaginative, that team. 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line, and the slant to Keyshawn Johnson. He'll have the first down beyond the 30-yard line. Keyshawn Johnson tackled by Eric Kelly.
Well, we talked about the Vikings using some pressure. You're going to see right here Kylie Wong and Lemansky Hall coming in on the blitz. They did this on the previous down also. So this is where they've been having some success. They're going to continue with that this week. And then on the outside, Keyshawn just running a quick slant. Brad Johnson's got to get that ball out of there fast when he's got the pressure right up the middle.
From the 31-yard line, here's Mike Alstott bullying his way forward. Fred Robbins making the tackle from behind after a pickup of 4.
You know, there are a lot of people that would consider Mike Alstott, you know, a fullback type player, but he's very effective when he's able to get into the I-back formation. Obviously a much different running back than what Warwick Dunn is. Mike Alstott's going to pound people and pound people. Got tremendous lateral movement, a little different style, and so they've got to keep that in mind when they're calling plays when Mike's in the ball game.
2nd and 7. Here comes the blitz, and Alstott trying to go outside and dives to within the 3.5, 4 yards of the first down. And good pressure by Lemansky Hall that time as Alstott is tackled. And that will bring up 3rd down. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been in this position before. As you guys have intimated, last year they had dropped 4 in a row, and then the Vikings came in and were scalded to the tune of 41-13, and Tony Dungy's team exploded for 31 first-half points. So they've been here before. 3rd down and 4 at the 37-yard line, and this pass is caught at midfield by Keyshawn Johnson. Continues to be the pace setter, and the gain of 15 brings the Bucs into Viking territory.
Well, Keyshawn Johnson's just having an outstanding year up to this point. In every game that he's played this year, he has caught at least 7 passes. He's caught 2 in this ball game. You would think on 3rd down, you don't want to give Keyshawn Johnson one-on-one matchups, but yet that's what they did on 2nd and 3rd downs. And if you do that, more times than not, this guy has got the ability that he's going to win those one-on-one matchups.
And 3rd down is where he goes to work. Still looking for his first touchdown catch of the year. From the 48, here is Mike Alstott. And Alstott maybe a yard on the play. Ed McDaniel.
Kenyatta Walker, a guy who was kind of singled out last week. He needs to finish his plays, and he needs to play with a little bit of more of passion for the game. You can see right here, he's got the message. He's got Willie Howard. He turns him, and he takes him all the way to the ground. And Randall McDaniel said last week that the Pittsburgh Steelers were calling Kenyatta out, and he really wasn't taking it personally. You can see right there that things are a little bit different this week.
2nd down and 9. And here's Alstott, finds a crease and close to the first down, short by a yard. Orlando Thomas making the tackle. So the Buccaneers mixing their plays, and Alstott picking up 7 on the play.
You take a look at Alstott and what he's able to do, and what Tampa Bay is doing offensively is they're in 3 wide sets, and they're spreading out the Minnesota defense. Minnesota is playing coverage, and when they do that, they want to check at the line, get the ball into his hands. They've got 5 defenders on 5 blockers, and they like that matchup in order to get Alstott some creases up inside.
Alstott has carried now 8 times in the game and fighting for first down yardage, and very close to it as we send you out to Los Angeles again for another game break with James Brown.
Dick, Troy, and Darrell.
But the defense didn't allow it. Scored by San Francisco's defense, and I think we're going to find out a lot about the Chicago Bears in that game this afternoon, whether they're for real or not.
Well, I don't think there's any question in that. San Francisco has surprised me each and every week with the way that they've been able to come out and play.
Well, they're short by a length of the football, and the Buccaneers on 4th down and less than a yard will go for the yardage. They'll go for it here.
Well, last week against Green Bay, a similar situation. Early in the football game, Green Bay went for it on the 4th down, and it really, when you talk to the guys from Minnesota, they felt that they were, kind of belittled. They didn't have the respect for their defense. They felt that was a turning point in that football game.
First, of course, you have to see whether they go to the line to try to draw the Vikings offside, or whether they actually go for it here. It's a quarterback sneak first down. Brad Johnson going off right tackle. And the Buccaneers getting this crowd cheering for the offense for a change.
You know, what's interesting about that play, Dick, is normally when you're going to run quarterback draw, you jam everybody in there. You got 22 guys in there pretty tight. You take a look at it. They're in 3 wides here and here, and they give a look like they may actually come out and throw the ball in that situation. They run the quarterback draw. Nice call and nice formation to set it up.
Buccaneers on the Vikings 36. Keyshawn Johnson in motion. And the pass out to Johnson. Keyshawn Johnson picks up another Tampa Bay first. to the 25-yard line. Wong making the tackle. So a well-designed play, and the Buccaneers are moving.
Well, and this is a play that they like to run with Keyshawn Johnson. They got him going in motion, and you'll see a flare back. It's a quick throw, and they've got the other receivers up the field blocking for him. He wants to get up inside that crease, and you'll see them run this play 2 to 3 times in each and every ball game.
The 11th play of the drive coming up. Keyshawn Johnson has caught 3 passes for a total of 36 yards. They go back to the run, and Alstott, and he is tackled from behind. And a gain of 2. Kylie Wong and Stalin Colonnade.
Yeah, and Stalin Colonnade, the guy who just made the tackle there, you know, they just picked him up last week, and he came in and started after only having about 4 days of practice. Did a nice job. He was originally drafted by the Minnesota Vikings, and then he left in a trade with Jerry Ball, and he's back in, and they feel like he provides them the size that they've been lacking on that defensive end position.
Now the Vikings bring in Lance Johnstone, a pass rusher, who's a lot lighter, on 2nd down and 8. Here's a handoff with flags down, and Alstott driving his way inside the 20-yard line. But there are penalty markers all over the field. Alstott picking up 5, and our first penalty, Jerry Austin, our referee.
Offside, defense, 98, 5 yards, repeat 2nd down.
Chris Hovan, offside, wearing number 99. Fred Robbins, 98, was not in the game as the pirate ship exploding here. Even before the Buccaneers get a touchdown. A little unusual, guys. Normally you wait till you get in there, huh?
This is an area where they have some problems. They've been able to get to the red zone. What the problem has been for this football team is what they do after they get in the red zone, and that has not been much.
Big ball control in for the Bucs. 2nd down and 3. Alstott is going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard. Will bring up 3rd and short. Minnesota defense coming alive. The new people in there, as you mentioned, Stalin Colonnade and Winfield Garnett, actually running in a lot of the defensive people. 18 in all. Colonnade going out.
They're going to their 3 wide package again here on 3rd and 3.
Short drop. Pass caught. 1st down inside the 10 to Carl Williams. And a gain of 9. So here the Buccaneers do not have Warwick Dunn nor Jacquez Green out with a groin injury. And Tampa Bay, getting other people into the act, have a 1st and goal.
Well, and what they've got is they've got Carl Williams out there outside one-on-one with Robert Tate. And Robert Tate only plays in 3rd down situations when they go to their nickel because he's coming off of a shoulder injury. And that's one of the things that Tampa Bay wants to do is come out in 3 wide, get Robert Tate out there knowing he's banged up a little bit, take advantage of that matchup.
1st and goal from the 8. And Brad Johnson's pass caught to the 3 by Dave Moore, the tight end. And fans may be wondering, where has this offense been all season?
Well, the big thing right now is we've talked about is their struggles in the red zone, and what guys have talked about is how come you have not used Keyshawn Johnson's height advantage in this situation? We'll see if maybe for the first time this season they go to a fade on the outside. They're very good at throwing the fade stop, but they've been very content to just pound this ball into the middle with Mike Alstott.
In fact, you saw them working on that very play. You're talking about the fade into the corner on Friday at practice.
Great ball control, 15th play. That is only the 2nd offensive touchdown in the 1st half for the Buccaneers all year. And a 15-play drive, and Mike Alstott caps it with a touchdown from the 3.
Well, he's working off this left side, and they get the ball to Alstott and Jeff Christie and Randall McDaniel and Kenyatta Walker able to get some people moved around. And that's the job Mike Alstott does, being able to be shifty and make people miss and then use his power to pull people over.
Martin Dramatica adds the extra point, so the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have jumped in front of the Vikings 7-0 with 1:35 to go in the 1st.
Today's business thought. Most hosting companies don't own their network. They hand off your data to someone else, who hands it off to someone else. Handoffs? This isn't a football. This is your data. A message from WorldCom, the world's farthest reaching IP network. And no handoffs. Leave nothing to chance. WorldCom, Generation D.
They all laughed at Christopher Columbus when he said the world was round. They all laughed when Edison recorded sound.
So who is Motor Trend's 2002 Sport Utility of the Year? The GMC Envoy. Those who say America can't compete don't take test drives. We are professional grade.
Whoa, 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 who's got the last laugh now?
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by GMC. From professional-grade people come professional-grade trucks. By Budweiser, with a crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. By your neighborhood 7-Eleven store. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven. And by WorldCom, Generation D.
Back here in Tampa as Mike Alstott capping a 80-yard drive. More important, 8 minutes and 23 seconds off the clock. And dramatic is kicked to Don Morgan. Tampa Bay may have it. You'll hear a roar if they do. Robbie Abdullah hitting Don Morgan, jarring the ball loose.
Well, there is some stuff going on at the bottom of that pile.
Yeah, they're getting to get down there. Yeah, they're getting to the bottom of this. The Vikings maintain possession. No roar. Boos. Close call for the Vikings, who already trail in this game. Don Morgan fumbled, but one of his teammates recovered. We'll be right back.
Some situations call for trucks with more power. So engineer Mark Ferrone and the team have made GMC Sierras the most powerful line of pickups in the world. And to help manage all that torque, they've also given Sierra technically advanced braking systems. Mark may be obsessed with power, but he's not crazy. From professional-grade people come professional-grade trucks.
Dad, are we there yet?
No.
Well, no, you're there. Let's speak in the language. Let's speak in the language.
Family vacation. On the wings of Goodyear.
Tomorrow's the big event. Are we there?
The work is there,
Excellent.
but it's not here.
Not here.
Not here. We have a glitch.
A glitch?
A glitch. New York supplies are garbled. The servers in London are down, and everything from Asia has just plain vanished.
Vanished.
Vanished. You know, a glitch.
So no pitch. Well, what do we do tomorrow?
Discuss our global capabilities.
And that's when it hits you. You are so ready for IBM.
Well, Don Morgan ought to thank Harold Morrow, who was alert enough to recover the fumble on the kickoff, giving the Vikings the ball at the 24-yard line. Dante Culpepper suffered a bloody nose. It was not broken when he called timeout in the first drive. Jim Kleinsaucer, the fullback, up the middle and getting good yardage, about 6 on the play. Take a look at next week. The NFL on Fox. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers hoping to get to 500, go against the Green Bay Packers.
Well, that becomes a huge ball game when you look at this game that Tampa's playing. And then the next ball game against Green Bay and what they've been unable to do at Green Bay. And you look at these two guys, and they've just been outstanding. So they did play well last week, but up till then, they've just been outstanding this season.
2nd and 4. Here is Klein Saucer. Nothing doing. He is knocked back. And that will bring up 3rd down and about 3 as Jamie Duncan and Rondé Barber get up on the play. The Packers, by the way, were beaten by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers earlier in the year 14-10 here in Tampa. Basically, of the 4 contenders in the division, everyone has held serve. They won their home games, lost their road games. So something at some point will give. And the final seconds of the first quarter, that is the end of the first quarter with the score. The Tampa Bay Bucs 7, the Minnesota Vikings nothing. And Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages.
On September 11th, our world changed forever. In the days that followed, we were horrified, fearful, angry, moved to tears, and moved to action across Tampa Bay and around the world. Now, as we recover, rebuild, regroup, turn to the St. Petersburg Times for in-depth coverage, news, and analysis every day. In these historic times, trust the St. Petersburg Times.
Introducing 0% APR financing, or up to $1,000 cash back on every new 2002 Corolla, 4Runner, or Tundra.
Johnson and the D-backs look to take command of the series against Jeter and the Yankees. Game 2 of the World Series, tonight on Fox.
The first quarter stats.
And the most important thing right here, you look at the time of possession. Tampa Bay really dominating at this point. They're getting the Minnesota Vikings off the field in 3rd down, and they are converting theirs to stay on the field offensively.
3rd down and 2 from the Vikings 32-yard line out of the shotgun. Culpepper's pass, trying to go to Chamberlain. The tight end downfield, incomplete. So the Minnesota offense has not had many chances. And now we'll have to kick it again.
Tell you, they've 2 3rd downs now. Tampa's been able to stop them. And as we talked about coming in, it's such a critical down in keeping Minnesota's offense off the field, but then also, and more importantly, giving Tampa's offense great field position.
Here's Mitch Berger's kick to Carl Williams. Wynn playing havoc with that kick back to the 20-yard line. And Carl Williams, with his best return of the season, out close to the 35-yard line. 7-0 Bucks. Will return in a moment.
In and out. Good. Keep the victim calm. And 1, and 2, and 3.
Okay, there you go. That's over 100 channels, sports, news, digital music. Installation's free, and it's only $31.99 a month. Just $31.99 a month gets you over 100 channels of DirecTV programming. Right now with free professional installation. So it was the digital music that... Yeah.
Oh, I like that, Vanessa.
I don't know, Vang. I think it needs something.
Radio Shack Shack can help accessorize your wireless phone, no matter where you bought it. From leather cases, hands-free headsets, and speakerphones to cigarette lighter adapters and chargers, Radio Shack has it all.
What do you think of this?
Not in this lifetime.
Radio Shack.
Boys, that is the sorriest first half I've ever seen. So here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to get changed. Then, we're going to get on the bus. Then, we're going to go home. We're going to go home. We can play video games.
Loss of competitive edge. Another unfortunate side effect of hunger. Grab a Snickers.
Packed with peanuts, caramel, and chocolate.
Later on, we're going to take a nap.
Snickers. Don't let hunger happen to you.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by DirecTV, the #1 satellite entertainment provider. By Radio Shack, you've got questions, we've got answers. By Burger King, home of the Whopper. And by Visa, it's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
Beautiful day in Central Florida where the Bucs lead the Vikings 7-0 early in the second quarter. And good news concerning Robert Griffith, who suffered a broken fibula against the Chicago Bears. He's 2 weeks ahead of schedule and could be ready in 2 weeks to get back in there at strong safety. Mike Alstott split to the left. Pass coming underneath to Riddell Anthony. Pass is caught, and Brad Johnson brings the Bucs to within 2 yards of a first down. Kenny Wright on the tackle.
They talked about wanting to open up this Tampa Bay offense. Mike Alstott is going to be motioning out there to the left, and then you've got Riddell Anthony inside in the slot. He just turns around to get him the ball, and nice little pickup. But when you're, when you're able to get 5 people out like that, you can create some real havoc for a defensive football team.
Second down and 2, and here is Alstott diving forward. What great moves by Mike Alstott, and he finally gets into Minnesota territory and gets 12 yards before upended by Eric Kelly. But Alstott may look burly, but he's got good feet.
He's got tremendous feet for a guy his size, and to be able to change direction as quickly as he does, it's closed off there. But watch right here. He makes Henry Jones miss right in the hole. A 250-pound guy is not supposed to be able to make a safety miss in the hole, and that just shows you the versatility that Mike Alstott offers to this offense. And we saw him split out wide on the last play when they emptied the backfield. Very tough to defend.
Well, they missed the elusive Mark Dunn, and instead they have the elusive Mike Alstott. From the 47 of the Vikings, and here is it in the round to Anthony. And Anthony gets by 3 defenders. Riddell Anthony. And the Vikings have to be kicking themselves because they had him trapped behind the line of scrimmage, and Anthony winds up picking up 16 yards.
Well, there's Jerry Wunsch, and he was able to make the people
find in no other.
Jerry Wunsch, he's going to work up the field. He'll come back into your screen right there and makes the block that allows Riddell Anthony to get up the field and turn that into a big game.
So the bag of tricks, Tampa Bay style, and the Bucs 31. Frank Murphy is checked in at wide receiver, but here's Alstott, trips up behind the line, and Alstott to the 20-yard line and a first down. Willie Howard, the rookie, making the tackle, but not before the Bucs pick up another first down.
Well, you heard Moose talk about it earlier, and his ability to make people miss. You just don't expect to see that. He's got tremendous lateral movement, but then once he gets headed north and south, he punishes people, and he's just a hard man to bring down.
And that's a couple plays now in a row where Minnesota has been in the right place. They've defensed the play well. They attack the point of attack there. But right now, the Buccaneers are making plays. Riddell Anthony's making people miss, and Mike Alstott is making people miss.
And Warren Dunn's got to enjoy that. Alstott has carried now 14 times, and Alstott diving inside the 15. A gain of 8 yards, missing the first down by 2, and the Bucs are getting huge chunks of yardage. Carter finally makes the tackle.
And Keyshawn, we've talked about the number of passes he's caught, but watch him right here going inside to make a block to get Mike Alstott to the outside. He's a big physical receiver, and you have to have those guys blocking downfield. Look at the eyes, the concentration with Mike Alstott right there. He appreciates when his wide receivers come in and give him an opportunity to get on the corner.
Already carried 14 times, and we have over 11 minutes to go in the half. And now 15, Alstott, the workhorse, getting close to the first down. I don't think he made it. And it was Fred Robbins and Lamonsky Hall on the tackle, as once again the ball control, Tampa Bay doing a number on the Vikings thus far.
Well, and what has been impressive about the way that they've done it is they're doing it with a lot of different personnel packages. They're coming in with 2 tight ends, 1 back sets. They're coming in with 3 wide, and they're running the same plays out of those formations, and then they're mixing in enough pass that's keeping this Minnesota defense off balance, and more importantly, it's keeping Randy Moss and Chris Carter off the field.
3rd and 1, and Alstott first down inside the 10. Mike Alstott starting in place of Warwick Dunn.
You talk about the struggles they've had in the running game. You look at just a comparison right there. They're already matched last week's total. That is the commitment to the run, and what that does, it allows your offensive linemen to come off the ball. Watch these guys getting off the ball in a short yardage situation. They're creating the running lanes, and you can have the best running back in the world back there, but if the guys aren't getting it done up front, he doesn't have anywhere to run.
First and goal at the 8. Aaron Stecker, the 3rd down back.
3 wide again, Dick.
And they're going to give it to Stecker. And Stecker picking up 3 yards. So it'll be 2nd down and goal with the Bucs leading 7-0. Clyde Christensen, the offensive coordinator. Well, everyone is taking heat down here, including Clyde Christensen.
Well, and that happens when you're struggling. And Clyde Christensen, the offensive coordinator, and when the offense isn't moving the football and not scoring points, then you're going to come under fire, as has Tony Dungy and the players on this team. And this offensive line has also taken a lot of abuse in the last couple of weeks for their inability to run the football.
Haven't we seen this before? When Tampa Bay has been backed up in a losing streak in October, that's not their favorite month, and coming back and getting the job done. At least they are early on against these Minnesota Vikings.
Well, it seems like every year when they're down and they come and they need a win, Minnesota is usually the team coming in here, and they play against this team well at home.
And Martin Gramatica on for the extra point, and the kick is good. Mike Alstott with a 6-yard run, and what great ball control the Buccaneers have to take the 2-touchdown lead.
No matter who you are or what you're into, isn't it nice to know you'll be accepted?
That's why the Redskins' biggest fans, the Hoggets, make sure to bring their Visa cards to the Forecast Boutique. Visa, the official card of the NFL.
Do I look fat in this dress? Yes.
Come follow the footsteps of Michael McGee. A foolish and forgetful fellow was he. The mournful moan of a man all alone goes a little something like this. Should he use Prestone? Now he's sneezing and wheezing and his poor toes are freezing. Oh, poor baby. Scary things happen in Prestone season. I see 2 tickets to the Super Bowl in your future. I do, I swear, my vision is my gift. Swing by your favorite Prestone retailer for your chance to win.
The students and teachers of Boston Public faced a lot of challenges this past year, but nothing can prepare them for her.
What is your relationship with Harry Sennett?
Are you prying or getting ready to ask me out?
Jerry Ryan joins the faculty of Boston Public tomorrow on Fox.
Mike Alstott, who has scored both of the Tampa Bay touchdowns. So a 9-play drive. The first one was a 15-play foray. And he gained 40 yards on 6 carries. And the offensive line getting it done for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All you have to do with this league is be much maligned, and then you come back and have a big game. Let's see if it continues. Don Morgan on the return for the Vikings and brings it out 24 yards. And we'll return to Sunsplash Tampa in just a moment.
Then I had that taste. The new grilled sourdough bacon cheeseburger at Burger King. With grilled sourdough bread. A quarter pound of flame broiled beef. 2 slices of melted Swiss cheese. 4 strips of bacon. The new grilled sourdough bacon cheeseburger will make you a believer. Now for a limited time at Burger King. Shrek, the biggest movie of the year. Available November 2nd wherever videos are sold.
Today's high-tech devices demand a high-tech battery. This is Energizer E² with titanium technology. You need massive amounts of long-lasting power? Do what we did. Put the bunny inside. Energizer E² with titanium technology. Do you have the bunny inside? Ever wonder how the race car driver gets to the race car? Seville STS, the fusion of design and technology. Cadillac.
The first time, they took you to the edge of temptation. This time, they'll take you beyond.
It's over with.
Oh, my God. Temptation 2, Wednesday, November 7th.
Well, let's meet the Minnesota Vikings offense. We haven't had a chance to see Randy Moss, Chris Carter, and the company. Only 6 plays in 2 possessions. By the way, Everett Lindsey has gone into play left guard. Corbin Lucina has a sprained right calf. Doubtful as to his return. Donnie Abraham is the cornerback for the Bucs. He did not start today. From the 24-yard line, keep it on the ground to Doug Chapman. And he is driven back. Chapman last week gaining 90 yards, gets only 1 this time with Jamie Duncan, the middle linebacker, and John Lynch, the strong safety.
Well, that's what they're going to have to do. We talked about it before, that they have had problems slowing anybody down in the running game, and they've got to get a bunch of hats to the ball and involve John Lynch. You see John Lynch coming up from the safety position. He just stops him right there in his tracks. That's the best way to stop a running game.
Brian Kelly in as an extra defensive back as Quarles goes out. 2nd and 9. 4 wide receivers line up for Minnesota, and they'll run the ball to Chapman, trying to go outside, and he is hit from behind and from in front. And he picks up 2, bringing up 3rd down. It was Derek Brooks playing with the injured foot who made a play. And his injury and the fact that he's playing hurt, he's pretty courageous out there, but his injury has been a big factor in Tampa Bay's defense.
Well, it has been a big factor in their defense, and they would have liked to have sit him down this ball game, but his backup, Jeff Gooch, has been injured as well, and so as a result, they've been pretty much forced to have him play, and with the injury that he's had, he's not been able to make the big plays that he's normally made in previous games when he's healthy.
3rd down and 6. Culpepper will swing it out to Doug Chapman, and Chapman's not going to make it. Swarming defense by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they're well rested, limiting that swing pass to only 1 yard. So in the first 5 games, the Bucs had the fewest 3 and outs in the NFL. Today, already 3.
And here's Sheldon Quarles right here. He's going to come in from off the slot. He forces that ball to be thrown quick out to Doug Chapman. But watch the pursuit. If we get to see the pursuit of this defense is totally different than it's been in the past.
Flag is down, and Mitch Berger gets it off, and it's a infield fly. It's a pop-up, and they're going to let it bounce. Takes a Minnesota roll, but not far enough, as it is down at the 45-yard line. A penalty marker down back at the 20-yard line. That punt went 27 yards, and Berger very fortunate that that wasn't blocked.
And when your timing gets disrupted like that, you've got to have an ineligible down the field.
We have 2 fouls on the play. Ineligible downfield on the offense, several of them. 43 holding on the offense. Both penalties are refused. First down.
There were several penalties as well.
Usually when they say several, that's not a good thing.
Again, Tampa Bay gets the ball back. Good field position.
This is Silverado Heavy Duty. Available with the new Duramax diesel. The most powerful diesel you can get in a pickup. Silverado Heavy Duty. More truck from Chevy.
Recently, at this quiet, unassuming little Pizza Hut, an interesting pizza discovery took place. Whoa! We've created the new Ultimate Lovers Pizzas from Pizza Hut. Our Lovers Pizzas now with cheese once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6 kinds of luscious cheese. And 6 kinds of seriously satisfying meat toppings. Or 5 garden veggies. Or 2 layers of zesty pepperoni. And you'll discover it's not $12.99, it's only $8.99. $8.99. The new Ultimate Lovers Pizzas, only from Pizza Hut.
Ice premium malt beverage, reminding you that whatever it takes, never drink and drive.
Last season, her prayers were finally answered. But now, the question is, by whom? Lucy Lawless guest stars. The X-Files season premiere, Sunday, November 11th on Fox.
Buccaneers lead 14-0. With 6:39 remaining in the second quarter, the vaunted Viking offense have had the ball for only 9 plays, and in the time of possession, nearly 18 minutes to under 6 for the Vikings in good field position. Best of the day for the Buccaneers, their own 45. Deshaun Johnson in motion. You've seen this play in the first quarter. Johnson got good yardage. This time he picks up 5. But it's been a Mike Alstott first half thus far.
Well, and one of the things they talked about coming into the game was that they wanted to get the ball into Mike Alstott's hands.
And you can see just the quickness of his feet right here. He's creating running lanes. He's finishing his runs. And the great thing for the offensive line and for a guy like Mike Alstott with his style, Clyde Christensen has committed to the run. He hasn't shied away from it. They've exceeded their rushing attempts already today that they had last week.
Second down at midfield. The Bucs need 5, and they're going to give it to Alstott again. And Alstott is going to get the 5+. And a first down, picking up 7 as we send it back out to L.A. And James Brown for a game break.
Hey, Dick the Bear. Back to Dick, Troy, and Darryl.
Now what do you have to say about the Bears?
I'm sorry, JB. You're right. You're right.
Well, here we are, a 14-0 game, and we just saw the highlights of a 14-0, 49 lead against the Bears. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay marches on. First down at the 43. Grant Johnson, plenty of time, and going downfield, and double coverage for Riedel Anthony by Tyrone Carter and Kenny Wright.
Well, they're trying to get the ball to Riedel Anthony. Brad Johnson's lucky that Tyrone Carter was not able to intercept that ball. He was playing middle safety and was back the whole time. You know, I know that there's been so much discussion about the Tampa Bay offense not throwing the ball down the field, but you still have to be able to pick your spots. And you can't start forcing throws just because you've been unable to do that in previous weeks.
That's why the fans cheered. They actually attempted a long pass. Here's Alstott on second down, breaks it, and gets the first down to the 32-yard line.
But I think what it does for you, Dick, is the fact that they did take the shot, regardless of whether or not it was the right decision. is that it then opens things up within the running game. And you can see here the longest receptions, the longest one for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is Jaquez Green, and that ranks 100th on the list, and he's not playing in today's ball game. But that just points out that they've had a real inability to get the ball down the field and make plays in the passing game.
First down at the 32-yard line. And here is Alstott, and this time will be knocked back in a loss of a couple of yards thanks to Chris Hovan. Want to remind you that tonight, Game 2 of the World Series presented by Budweiser with a matchup of two dominating southpaws. Andy Pettit, the Yankees look to even the series against Randy Johnson and a Diamondbacks team trying to go up 2-0 before heading to the Bronx. And last night, Craig Counsell and Luis Gonzalez hitting key home runs as the Diamondbacks won going away. Game 2 of the World Series beginning tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on Fox with Joe Buck and Tim McCarver. Against tremendous pressure up the middle.
Take a look. Ed McDaniel's going to be working up inside. Brad Johnson does a great job of retreating, getting it off to the Aaron Stecker with Lyman out in front of him on the screen. Kenny Wright misses the tackle there. Aaron Stecker does a nice job of just putting his head down and getting that one into the end zone.
And Martin Gramatica with 3:34 to go in the first half. The kick is good. So Aaron Stecker on the receiving end as Brad Johnson has completed 8 of his last 9 passes. But Mike Alstott, the bulwark, and Aaron Stecker with his first career NFL touchdown, giving the Bucs a 3-touchdown bowl.
And Brad Johnson does a great job of staying in. He's retreating. He knows it's the screen. But on top of that, also Aaron Stecker able to find his way through there and get himself into position for Brad to find him. And as Troy pointed out, he does a great job of finishing this run at the end, making some people miss, picking up his blockers deep downfield, and then right here at the end, about 5 yards out, he just accelerates and throws himself into the end zone.
Been a long time coming for that first scene, and now the Minnesota Vikings have to be scratching their helmets, wondering what hit them. Denny Green's Vikings. Remember, they're 9-1 going into the bye week. Right now, that doesn't look very good.
No, it doesn't look good right now. And you know, when we talked to Brad Johnson yesterday, he told us that even in the first ball game, they moved the ball well. And he felt like they would be able to do the same thing in this game, and it certainly has held true. Every time that they've had the ball, they've been efficient, they've run the ball well, and by running Alstott and running him effectively, it's been able to open things up in the passing game also.
Here's Gramatica with an end-over-end kick, and Nate Jacquet activated this week when Troy Walters was injured and couldn't go, brings it back to the 29-yard line. So you saw the touchdown pass to Stecker covering 35 yards, and that matches their longest of the year, as we mentioned just a few moments ago. Well, where do the Vikings go now? Down by 3 touchdowns, and they really haven't had a chance to do much offensively, but what's their thought?
Well, I think the biggest key is that you don't panic. You know, you're in a ball game, you're down 21 points on the road. You don't want to panic. I'm interested in seeing if this Vikings offense, based on the personalities to make it up, if they're capable of being patient.
Only 5 passing yards, but we'll give them a chance. First and 10 at the 29. Culpepper back on the pocket, going up the middle and overthrowing Randy Moss, who was wide open at midfield.
Yeah, in the first ball game that they played, Warren Sapp was able to get pressure on Dante Culpepper all afternoon. You see him right there. He put tremendous pressure on Dante, coming at him right in the chest. And I can tell you, I've had that hit, and it does not feel good. And the next time that Dante drops back, he's going to know where Warren Sapp is, and he's going to be getting rid of that football a little bit quicker.
It isn't always the sack that hurt. It's the hits after you let go of it.
Exactly right.
I know you've said it. Second down and 10. Here's Chris Carter, pass thrown behind him. Carter trying to make something happen, reversing his direction, and he's brought down A loss of about 3 on the play. James Canada with the good hustle.
Well, this was one of the things the Vikings like to do. You watch Simeon Rice right here. He's the defensive end. As soon as he sees that he's throwing the ball quick, Simeon Rice comes down the line of scrimmage, him along with Warren Sapp, and has to make Chris Carter completely traverse field. Nice job by the defense of recognizing the play and getting out there.
Flag. Number 80, after the play was over, hit a player up to the head. Therefore, it's third down.
Frustration.
15-yard penalty. It will be third down.
Chris Carter exhibiting frustration with his team down by 3 touchdowns in the final minutes of the first half. Called for the personal foul.
Well, that was my point earlier about talking about, can this team be patient? It's a team that tends to get very frustrated when they get their backs against the wall, and you can't have that if you're going to make a comeback in this game.
Third down and 26. Culpepper getting chased, fires it up, and the pass to Jake Reed, and it's caught short of the first down by about 7 yards. So Culpepper doing a bit of ad-libbing.
Well, the success of the offense right now, the defense is starting to feed off of that from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's 4 drives, that's 4 3-and-outs. And here we go on the sidelines again. We've got some problems with the Minnesota Vikings.
There's Johnstone in the middle, and Farron Wright is being.
Well, Farron needs to get out of the field for the punt team.
Yeah, you need 11. So right now the Vikings are in disarray. 4th down, and Mitch Berger with the punt, and it's a beauty, sending Carl Williams back to the 17. Williams tackled at the 21-yard line by Patrick Chukwura.
Yeah, you see, Farron Wright is so busy arguing with Chris Carter that the coach is having to grab him to tell him that he's supposed to be out on the field for the punt team.
Poor Farron White gets grabbed. Gets grabbed. I remember when Chris Carter grabbed him after a special teams penalty.
Every time we do a game of Minnesota's, Farron Wright's getting grabbed by somebody.
Give Farron a break. Anyway, it's first down at the 25-yard line for the Buccaneers. Disappointing start for the Vikings offense, and I guess for their defense as well. Alstott with the carry. Flag is down as Alstott picking up about 5 with Ed McDaniel on the tackle. His penalty will be against Tampa Bay.
Holding, 64 offense, 10 yards, repeat first down.
Former Vikes Randall McDaniel with the unusual stance at the line.
Well, and here we are, 2 minutes and 7 seconds left in the second quarter, and that's the first penalty for Tampa Bay, and penalties over the course of the previous 5 games has been something that has really hurt this football team.
Well, the Buccaneers, nothing to complain about. That penalty, and now with 2 minutes to go, the 2-minute warning.
2 minutes.
With the Buccaneers leading 21-0.
Fox NFL Sunday, brought to you by UPS, moving at the speed of business.
We started modernizing sled operations in '78. We have to assure that billions of children receive billions of toys overnight. And UPS has the technology to help make this possible. Some elves have worked here long enough to remember the good old days when we'd make a little wooden train, write for Timmy on it, and leave it to Santa to figure it out. Today, UPS helps us track any toy from the time it leaves our facility to the time Santa leaves it under the tree. You know, I tell you, the guys with the brown trucks make my job a whole lot easier.
Let's get this party started.
New on video and DVD, Eddie Murphy Comes Home. This is good news in the wildest comedy of the year.
Hello, Clarice.
Dr. Dolittle 2. Buy it on video and DVD today.
Through the forest.
Rolaids announces unbeatable taste. 5 great ways to spell fast relief. And now taste tests show even Tums can't beat Rolaids. In mint or fruit flavors, what a great tasting way to spell relief. Rolaids.
want to switch? Sure.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Avalanche. The only vehicle that switches from an SUV to a pickup.
Good idea.
Chevy Avalanche. Like a rock.
Well, this is where it all started. You'll see here the play that Chris Carter brought all the way around the field. Nate Webster, number 52, he's offering a helpful hand to help him up, but I'm sure he's not being very friendly in his offering. And Chris Carter takes offense and gives a cheap little shove there that cost him 15 yards. And the play after that is when we had the big blow up on the sideline.
Well, it looks like Nate Webster was trying to pick him up by his face mask.
It did at that.
Hey, let me help you up. Come on. Come on. Just grab right a hold of that face mask.
First down and 20 following the penalty. Back on the 15. And the screen to Mike Alstott. And Alstott picks up a good chunk of that yardage. Takes it out to the 31-yard line, a gain of 15 yards, 8 on the stop. Well, coming up on the Visa Halftime Report, JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris will have scores and highlights from around the league. And the Fox Sports ticker will keep you updated with up to the second stat. 2nd and 5, and wide open, Moore, the tight end, first down to the 41. I don't know what the Bucs are doing, but they're making it look easy in this first half.
Well, they're doing an outstanding job, and they're doing a great job of keeping this defense off balance. As I mentioned earlier, they're shuffling in a lot of different people, and Minnesota can't get a handle on what they're doing out of those personnel packages.
First down, Dave Moore again, and the forward progress will be marked at the 46-yard line. Ed McDaniel on the tackle, and a timeout called by Tampa Bay, their first.
Great. Credit card bill.
Look at these fees.
Honey?
One rate for purchases, higher rate for cash advances, and those telemarketers.
Relax. We switched to Capital One's new no-hassle card.
Introducing Capital One's new no-hassle Platinum Card. No balance transfer fees, no telemarketing, one low fixed rate.
Honey?
What's in your wallet?
The clock shows 1:05 on the scoreboard clock as Brad Johnson calling the timeout, the first for the Buccaneers. They need 5 yards for the first down. They're on their own 46-yard line. Tampa Bay scoring on the last 3 drives, starting first from the 20, then the 34, and the last touchdown drive beginning from the 45.
We have to give some credit to this offensive line. Jeff Christie said it all starts with them. They gave up 10 sacks last week. They weren't able to run the ball effectively. It's been a totally different game today, and a lot of that credit has to go to this offensive line. They took a lot of criticism this week down here.
2nd and 5. Protection for Brad Johnson. He just needs to find an open receiver, and he can't as he throws it out of bounds.
Really a nice job there by the Minnesota Vikings defense, and Brad had some time. He was able to afford himself some time, move around, and try to find somebody to get open in that receiving crew, and Minnesota just did a nice job of covering them all up, and Brad wisely throws it away.
There's Robert Tate, who had been bothered by a shoulder injury, was a starting quarterback before Eric Kelly, the rookie, took over in that spot. He's in on the nickel now. 3rd and 5. Here comes pressure on Brad Johnson, and he dumps it off to Aaron Stecker, and again Aaron Stecker getting the job done in a first down inside the Vikings 40-yard line. So the last time that Johnson faced pressure, he dumped it off to Stecker, who took it 35 yards for a touchdown, and now this one gains 15. Tyrone Carter on the safety blitz. But Brad Johnson got it away, and now the Bucs will use their second timeout with 44 seconds remaining in the first half.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? For more cargo room, more people room, or more headroom. Enterprise. So easy it's like having a second car. Or third.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
It's Apple Applebee's, honey of a deal. Honey barbecue riblets, honey grilled chicken, or honey pepper steak. Sweet. Only at Applebee's.
You take a look at this last play. Kylie Wong working up the field here. Aaron Stecker's going to hit him low. Brad gets pressure, is able to avoid that, and then look at Aaron Stecker get back up off the ground. Brad flips in the ball and makes a play, and that's just two great plays by two great players.
This is an inspired effort on both sides of the line by the Buccaneers in this first half. Stecker with his first NFL touchdown. Now the Bucs with a first down, and on the slant, it's caught by Carl Williams. Another first down for Tampa Bay. They have one timeout left, and they hurry up the offense. They're on the 26th of Minnesota and stop the clock with a spike. Well, the Vikings have to be bewildered, and what an exhibition put on by Tampa Bay. They have all 17 first downs in this game.
Unbelievable. You saw Brad Johnson running to the sidelines, and there's a tendency as a quarterback when you spike the ball to stop the clock. It's not a timeout situation, but in your mind, you always feel like it is. So you'll always see almost a quarterback spike the ball, start to run to the sidelines, and then it realized, hey, it's not a timeout. We still got the play clock running.
He started that way. 2nd and 10. Brad Johnson pumps once, and Keyshawn Johnson, using that size advantage, leaps and makes the catch for 22 yards and another 1st and goal. And jumping over Kelly for the catch as the Bucs use their last timeout. Well, his nose has been bloodied. Right now, the Vikings may be unbound, but they trail 21-0 with 21 seconds to go in the half, and the Buccaneers threatening to go in for more.
I'm going to agree with Troy Aikman on that. I think Dante's nose is broken. It's been more than bloodied. It's been curved a little bit.
1st and goal at the 5. They've been outstanding from the red zone. This pass thrown behind Keyshawn Johnson off his hand, incomplete. And slow getting up.
And that's a position that they can't afford to have another injury to right now with Jaquez Green down and Keyshawn still down on the ground. This ball thrown behind him leaves himself extremely vulnerable to go back and make this catch. And you'll see Kenny Wright come in and get him down low.
When Keyshawn came into this game, he's got a thigh bruise. He's got some problems with his legs. And you expose your receiver in that particular situation. You got a corner who's rolled up and sees that the ball's coming at him the whole time. The ball's thrown behind him. Brad recognizes that Kenny Wright, the defender, was there, tried throwing it behind him, but was unable to keep Keyshawn Johnson from taking the hit.
He put his right shoulder right on that thigh, too. You'll see right here, he's got that right thigh. There he goes. That's a nice tackle by Kenny Wright. He puts his right shoulder right on Keyshawn's right thigh. And hopefully that's just an aggravation of a previous injury, and they're not, you can't tell if the trainers are looking at the knee or just checking the thigh.
Working on Keyshawn Johnson. An official timeout. The NFC Central Division, always a dogfight. Chicago trailing to San Francisco. The Packers with the bye week. Tampa Bay and Green Bay next week. The big game on Fox. So a big scramble right there.
Oh, there's no question. And if Chicago goes on to lose this ball game that they're playing today, it keeps everybody right in there, and there's nobody out of it. I mean, as bad as what it looked going into this ball game for Tampa Bay, if they are, in fact, able to go on and win this one, they are right back in this race.
This is not good news for the Buccaneers. Already missing Jacquez Green and Keyshawn Johnson, who had a bruised thigh and then a strained hip flexor, and did not practice till the very end of the week, and now taken off. 17 seconds on the clock. Keyshawn Johnson, the leading receiver in the NFC, coming in. So second goal and 5, the 5-yard line. No more timeouts for Tampa Bay. Brad Johnson drills it. Touchdown to Dave Moore. Brad Johnson with his second touchdown pass of the game to go along with Mike Alstott's 2 touchdown runs. And the Buccaneers lead it 27-0.
Dave Moore, he's going to work up into the end zone, turn around, and Brad sticks the ball right on him. And the thing about that play, even with Keyshawn Johnson out of the game, they still had 3 wide personnel on that play for the touchdown.
And Martin Gramatica with the extra point. And the Buccaneers, who had only 1 offensive touchdown in the first half coming into this game, have exploded for 4 in this first half.
Well, we take another look, and here's the 3 wide receivers right here. Dave Moore, tight end, he's going to come around here and hook up for the touchdown, and they wanted to spread them out, spread out the defense, and Dave Moore just getting right over the goal line, and Brad sticking it on him as soon as he turns around.
You talk about sticking it on him right between Ed McDaniel and Eric Kelly, a ball thrown on time, and you talked about the Buccaneers' struggles this year of getting the opposition off in third down, being able to convert in the red zone and score touchdowns. The big difference in this first half, the areas that they've had problems with all year, they have excelled in this afternoon. On top of that, the offensive line is playing well. They've really committed to the run and got Mike Alstott established. It'll be interesting to see what philosophy they'll take coming out as the second half starts.
And Tampa Bay have now equaled the most points that they have scored this season with 28. This was a 10-play drive. They've had other drives of 15 and 9 in this game. And the Minnesota Vikings simply have not had a chance to muster anything offensively. They have not had the ball, so they have been muted.
Well, it's been a real reversal of teams because they've not been able to stop Tampa on offense, and then Minnesota's not been able to convert third downs on their own offensive attempts.
And the return by Nate Jacquet, and he is down at the 15-yard line by Rabi Abdullah. Well, here we are in Tampa. Now, this is where the Yankees have their spring training headquarters, and this is Legends Field where the Yankees play their home Grapefruit League games, and this is where it all started for the Yankees, who now game 2 of the World Series brought to you by Budweiser. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line, and on the draw, Doug Chapman carries it out to the 20-yard line, and time runs out. Wonder what Denny Green is going to tell his team at halftime. But this crowd loving what they've seen. That is the end of the first half with the score. The Bucs 28 and the Vikings nothing. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages and a word from your local Fox station.
Last night, the Diamondbacks proved they belong with a dominating performance. Now, the Yankees must answer back against Arizona's other ace, Randy Johnson. Game 2 of the World Series tonight, only on Fox.
USA Today calls The Tick the funniest new sitcom this season.
Superhero and a sidekick have to be a well-oiled machine.
The Tick, Thursday, November 8th on Fox.
Everyone's working together to get things moving again. Here's our contribution. 0% financing on most Chrysler cars and minivans. And if you buy now, no monthly payments for 90 days. Now it's never been easier to drive home a new Chrysler car or minivan. So take advantage of these great offers. It's our way of helping move things forward again. See your local Chrysler dealer today.
Purple mountain majesties, spacious skies, amber waves of grain. Yes, America has just about everything. And to that, Ford and your Southern Ford dealers are adding 0% financing to be specific. You'll pay no interest for up to 5 years in every Ford car, truck, and SUV. That's no interest for the life of the loan. It's another way that Ford drives America. And it just goes to show that nothing can really be something. See your local Southern Ford dealer today.
Pick up a new Dodge now, and we'll pick up the interest. Announcing 0% financing on new 2002 Dodge models. And make no payments until 2002. That's right, 0% financing and no payments until 2002. Plus, we're clearing out 2001s with exceptionally generous factory-to-dealer cash incentives. Want to get a great deal? Then get to your Dodge dealer now.
Saturn is working to keep our economy strong. In jobs, in commerce, and in spirit. As part of that effort, we're providing interest-free financing on every new coupe, sedan, and wagon we make. Come visit your Saturn retailer and keep America rolling.
Stay tuned for our Bucs postgame show right after Fox's telecast of the game.
The Visa Halftime Report is brought to you by Visa. It's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
As we welcome you back to the Visa halftime here in Los Angeles Fullhouse. Those of you watching Minnesota and Tampa Bay, the Bucs playing mad ball right now, up 28-0 in this one.
Dante Culpepper with a bloody nose, looks like a broken nose. That's just my thinking, though. Mike Alstott says, here's Bucs ball. Take it to the left, take it back to the right. Howie, 3-yard touchdown. Pretty good football game now. 49ers 14-9 over the Bears.
Ooh, TB, you talking with somebody in your ear, huh?
All right, Kurt Warner. 3 years as a starter. They don't get any better than this young man. Out, a little razzle-dazzle. Azakim hits a wide-open Isaac Bruce. Make it to the left, reverse it back to the right. Similar to what we saw yesterday in OU, Nebraska, 7-0 Rams. And then Rams with more trickery. Warner to the handoff to Trung Canada on the inside. He gets it. Trung Canada takes it in. All Rams, and very impressive in the first half over the Saints, 21-6.
Well, the Ravens have rushed 7 times for only 14 yards in the first half. Jason Bookings starting that running back for the injured Terry Allen in that one. Jets and Panthers, only a 2-point lead by the Panthers there. Panthers, wow, they're looking to try to get back in the win column. And the Lions and Bengals, Chris's guy, Corey Dillon, 96 yards on the first play, longest from scrimmage for those guys. What did you want to clear up?
Did kick a field goal right before the half, so it's now 24-6 Rams over the Saints.
You know what? I should not have allowed you to say that Clyde Christensen was the tight ends coach. In fact, when I knew that he was a quarterback coach last year, but do you want to show him some love now?
You know, absolutely I want to show Clyde some. I thought that Clyde Christensen was the tight end coach. You know what? I made a mistake. One of the few I've made this year.
Ever.
But he was
what about
the
game he's called in the first half?
You know what? I'm going to tell you something, Clyde Christensen. You just keep it up because this is impressive. But this is really, Chris and Howie, what the Bucs need to do. Open it up, play football, run the football, control the clock.
This.
What?
This
you know, I make a mistake.
Many
I don't
apologies we're going to hear during halftime. Segments all over the country. Terry Bradshaw is going to be apologizing today, and I can't wait.
Well, you know, that's right on the limb, though.
That's the thing. You know, we talked about Tampa Bay in the pregame, and we talked about them searching for an identity over the last 4 years. This is really the identity of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What's wrong with their defense? Has Warren Sapp lost too much weight? Where is their defensive backs? Where is their linebacker? That's all they're looking for, is a little bit of a break. Run the football. It sets a lot of things up, and the Buccaneers are a running football team.
And what Lee Flowers said about this team last week, they're a paper champion. The only reason they get in the Pro Bowl is because they talk so much. He did what Tony Dungy could not do and get this team ready to play.
Hey, and Big Boy, I really didn't take a shot at Terry when I was talking about being able to talk in his ear.
Yes, you did.
You said you would not want a quarterback coach in your helmet at all. No. That's exactly what he said.
No. You did take a shot
right after this.
I don't mind it. I'm used to being shot at.
Visa is proud to celebrate the fans this season. Visa, it's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
On the season premiere of Boston Public.
You want to throw away a 6-figure income job to be a minimum wage babysitter?
New faces heat things up.
Are you a real teacher? Are you a real student?
And whatever you do,
How's your mother doing? She never returned my calls.
watch
Jim had a human hand?
until the very end.
Do you think he murdered his mother? Why don't you go see her? You know, ding dong, anybody home, still alive?
Boston Public premieres at 8/7 Central tomorrow on Fox.
in the next 24 hours.
Presidential candidates' lives at stake.
His nation will be betrayed.
There may be an element inside the agency involved with the hit on Pollard.
His family will be threatened. And federal agent Jack Bauer will have no one to rely on.
Find a shooter, Jack.
But himself.
You have no idea what you're getting yourself into.
Kiefer Sutherland stars.
You ever want to see your daughter again? Get me out of it!
In 24.
Who are you working for?
Premieres Tuesday, November 6th at 9/8 Central on Fox.
That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning, yeah. Oh, I'm easy like Sunday morning. I wanna be high, so
Well, they're halfway to a wipeout, 28-0 in favor of the Buccaneers. They're running and passing over the Vikings and not giving them a chance to get the ball and do much with it. Second half coming up shortly.
You're watching the NFL on Fox.
Freedom should be accessible to everyone. That's why you can now get 0% financing on cheap Grand Cherokee and cheap Wrangler. And if you buy now, you'll make no monthly payments for 90 days. And while you can't put a price on freedom, you have to admit it's a pretty good deal. Check one out at your Jeep dealer.
The new collection is a triumph, just dripping with vibrant flair. And I love the reinterpretation of the front and back color covers, from sassy to sublime. Custom ringtones strike a retro chord.
Right now, Singular is giving you twice as much. Buy this hip new Nokia and get another one free. Plus, ask about our unlimited nights and weekend plans. Singular Wireless, what do you have to say?
I've spent my life in construction and home building, and I recently bought a Palm Harbor home. You know why? I took the all-new factory tour, and it's like nothing you've seen before. They build homes the way I built them, with solid craftsmanship, quality materials. There's even an exciting movie, The Palm Harbor Story. And you'll see why the National Association of Home Builders chose Palm Harbor to become the first manufactured home builder to win the National Housing Quality Gold Award. Take Palm Harbor Home's free factory tour in Plant City.
Hi, I'm Dan Marino, and I'm teaming up with my good friends at Autoway to bring you lower prices and bigger selection. We're changing the game.
At Autoway, you'll see our one low, no-haggle price marked on over 7,000 cars and trucks. Fords, Chevys, Hondas, Toyotas, Lincolns, Dodges, Pontiacs, Nissans, and more. Shop our 13 locations or AutoWayDealers.com.
We're changing the game, and the winner is you. Price, service, selection. At Autoway, it's guaranteed.
I'm Derek Brooks, and you're watching the Bucs on Fox 13.
This is Derek Brooks of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He supports the United Way. He has a way with kids.
Okay, who wants to sing my favorite song? Good.
Who's my favorite player? Mr. Derek Brooks. 152 tackles, 36 assists, 2 times All-Pro.
How many?
3 times All-Pro.
Better. Let's start again.
Who's my favorite player?
Good.
Back here in Tampa, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers out to a 28-0 lead over the Minnesota Vikings. Johnny Culpepper, who did indeed suffer a broken nose. Guess you had to have been there to know what it's like, Troy. And but not good news for Keyshawn Johnson, who has a right knee contusion and may not be back in this game. But before we talk about the plight of the Vikings, let's praise the Buccaneers, because they have had anything but that during this past week.
Well, it's just been a fantastic job by them, and our own Howie Long at the halftime show there talked about how Tampa's looking to have an identity on offense, and they were able to do that running the ball, but they were also able to make some big plays in the passing game.
Minnesota, we talked about Tampa having their back to the wall. Obviously, their situation right now coming out in this second half, down 28-0, their backs are against the wall.
Right.
So we'll see if this mentality really does work for everybody.
Well, what do they do now? Let's talk now, Troy. I'm sure you've never been in a situation being down 28-0
never.
at the half ever in your career, and you haven't even moved. What is Minnesota's mindset?
Well, the biggest thing is what you've got to do is just go down and score that first touchdown. And you can't start thinking about, hey, we're 28 points down. You got to worry about how do you get the ball down the field and score the first one. And once you're able to do that, then I think you can start putting a little bit of pressure on them. But that's got to be their mindset going into the second half.
And the most important thing about that is getting that first down. They did not have one first down the entire first half. So offensively, they have just been completely shut down by this Tampa Bay defense today.
Brad Johnson with a big first half, loosening up, but the Vikings will get it first. And Nate Jacquet at the goal line, returning for the Vikings. And again, great pursuit. And this time, Brian Kelly, who earned a starting berth at cornerback, makes the tackle at the 17-yard line as we take a look at our halftime statistics.
Well, you take a look at the first downs here and the 3 and outs, and what they've been able to do is they have moved the football, converted third downs, which we talked about, and then more importantly, Tampa's defense has shut Minnesota down, and as Moose said, they have not even gotten a first down here in this first half.
20 yards rushing. How about 24 yards through the air? That's what the Vikings have gotten, and nothing yet for Randy Moss. And Culpepper nearly got knocked down and throws it away, and a flag goes down. And we may have an intentional grounding call against Dante Culpepper. Simeon Rice with the pressure on Culpepper. And the Vikings are disputing that flag. Jerry Austin.
Intentional grounding. Number 11 of the offense. The ball must get back to the line of scrimmage, even though he's out of the pocket. At the spot of the foul. Second down.
Yeah, that's what they talk about. Here's the tackle box right there, and you've got to be able to break outside of that box to be able to throw it away. Jerry Austin, our referee, said that he was able to do that, and he clearly does. But the ball also has to travel beyond the line of scrimmage in order for it not to be intentional grounding, and that's the problem. It did not travel past the line of scrimmage.
Well, the worst case scenario, the Vikings back to their 3-yard line, second down and 25. And a penalty flag down. And the headlinesman coming in, and let's see whether the Vikings are guilty of a false start. Already an intentional grounding call against Dante Culpepper. Everett Lindsay, who has gone in to play left guard for the injured Corbin Lucina, who strained a calf. Here's Austin.
False start, number 62.
Half the distance.
Even though he's in a 2-point stance, he rocked back quickly. That makes it a false start. Half a distance.
I love these explanations today.
I tell you what, Jerry Austin is leaving no room for guesswork right now. He's giving us the full explanation.
So half the distance. Second down and 27. Backed up against the goal line is Dante Culpepper in the end zone looking to throw, drills it, and short of the target, Randy Moss. So Randy Moss coming up empty thus far, has yet to catch a pass, and that'll be third and over 20. So in the first time, night and day, they played the Buccaneers. Moss, Carter, and Chamberlain had 14 catches for over 200 yards today. One catch for -2, and that was by Chris Carter.
And a big reason for that is because they have just not had the ball, and they've not had opportunities. Part of it is their fault that they've not converted third down. Another part of it is the defense for Minnesota, and that they've been unable to stop Tampa's offense.
Yeah, it's on Tampa Bay. They're doing it. Third and 27. On the design rollout, Culpepper. And no chance there. No targets were open. And it's dancing time for Warren Sapp, who still doesn't have a sack, but he loves the win. A lot of jiggling going on.
And you mentioned earlier in the game, Dick, that Warren wouldn't talk to the media this week. He was pretty quiet, and that's saying something for this guy because he loves to talk, and he loves to talk to the press. But I think he'll be talking after this game, at least if that's any indication.
Here's Mitch Berger with the punt. Carl Williams already finds himself in Viking territory. Now he gives ground, gets back into Minnesota territory, and a terrific return down to the 25. 28-yard return by Carl Williams. Shelton Quarles delivered the block that freed Carl Williams.
And not only a block, but just a very, very smart play. He'll come under the pitcher from your left, right here. You see, he kind of shields him, because if he doesn't, he's going to clip him. And this is all going to be called back. He kind of shields him, makes him run that little bubble over the top. So, great hustle, but a very intelligent play by Shelton Quarles.
See another block there by Rondé Barber, and Carl Williams just does a really nice job. Had the blockers out in front of him, but doing a nice job of setting up those blocks and making a few people miss also.
First down at the 25 for Tampa Bay. That's where they start their first second half possession. And Mike Alstott, dragging 3 defenders, picks up 5 yards on the play. Well, let's take a look at what Brad Johnson has done. Nothing really different than what he has shown all year. He's connecting, but connecting short.
No, it's pretty much what they've done. I mean, most of the passes that they're going to complete are going to be right in this range. And the 2 shots that they've taken over 30 yards, they've missed both of those. And the thing is that the receivers, once they've caught them, they've been able to make some people miss, and that's how they've been able to get the big yards.
And they had a standing ovation on the one attempt that they did have in the first half when they went deep on the 40-plus pass.
2nd and 5. Alstott looking for running room. And for one of the rare occasions, not much there, as Stalin Holiday closed the opening.
It's important for Tampa Bay. Obviously, they've had a tremendous first half, and they have a 28-point lead, but you can't forget about the explosive potential of this Minnesota offense. They can't be content with this lead because Minnesota can get back into this football game very quickly. So they're a long way from having this game totally in hand right now.
I think what they did in the first half to put themselves in this position, going up by 28 points, they have to continue with that philosophy.
3rd down and 4. Brad Johnson with a pump fake, chased out of the pocket, and down he goes. And a loss of about 7 yards on the play, but still within field goal range for Gramatica.
Well, and that's just not a smart play there on Brad Johnson's part. You lose 7 yards. It takes away 7 yards from your field goal team, and if it's not there, he's outside the tackle box. He's got to be able to unload that. That sack was squarely on his shoulders, and as a veteran quarterback, he should know better than that in that situation.
Well, last week he was sacked 10 times, matching the highest number in Bucs team history. So now Martin Gramatica with a 44-yard field goal attempt. It's long enough and straight through. Gramatica adds to the Bucs lead, 31-0, and the script remains the same for Tampa Bay.
Follow the footsteps of Michael McGee. A foolish and forgetful fellow was he. The mournful moan of a man all alone goes a little something like this. Should he use Prestone? Now he's sneezing and wheezing and his poor toes are freezing. Oh, poor baby. Scary things happen in Prestone season. I see 2 tickets to the Super Bowl in your future. I do, I swear, my vision is my gift. Swing by your favorite Prestone retailer for your chance to win.
Let's look at what makes the dome structure of great importance. You see, its circular design allows for maximum volume in a minimum space. So, an amazing number of people or things can actually fit in a relatively small area. With such an efficient design, it's a wonder domes aren't seen more often today.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
The Buccaneers lead 31-0. Early here in the third quarter as the Buccaneers were back on the 2-yard line. Good field position. Warren Sapp back to his old self. Line drive kick by Gramatica into the end zone and out of the end zone. And the Vikings will start after 20. Well, you know, Troy, you referred to the 10-sack game last week that Brad Johnson had. Now, I don't know if you ever had a game like that in your career. How about the Eagles? 91?
Actually, I had one worse. It was that was 11 sacks. Not only was it 11 sacks, but they did it by rushing only 4 guys, which makes things really, really tough on a quarterback. They got pressure, and there's nowhere to throw the football on top of that.
Boy,
Bruce, you were a part of that. Where were you?
No, those were all on third downs. I was on the bench. I got taken out in the nickel package.
You know, I remember I broadcast that game with Merlin Olsen on CBS, and I understand he came up to you after the game, and that was the highlight of your day.
Well, yeah, that's how bad that day was.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line, and the handoff to Doug Chapman, and Chapman picking up a yard on the play. So when the TV analyst goes in to talk to a quarterback, and that's the highlight, well,
you take it. This is that same day. Moose wasn't helping a whole lot either. It was because of runs like that we had to throw it as much as we did.
I was just happy to get the ball.
Well, better things happened after that. That was just the start of things. Second down and 9 at the 21. There's a Moose supporter in the crowd. So they're all out here today. Second and 9 for the Vikings out of the shotgun. Culpepper being chased. And the pass incomplete off the hands. Was it intercepted? Yes. Dexter Jackson returning from a thigh bruise on the interception off the hands of Chris Carter. And the Buccaneers find themselves on the offensive side in Viking territory again.
Well, I'll tell you what, when things are going your way, they're going your way. And what an outstanding play by Dexter Jackson. It comes off Chris Carter's hands. He does a nice job of making the catch and keeping both feet in bounds for the interception.
That's Jackson's 3rd interception of the season. We'll be right back.
Hold on. We've got more prizes for the student who sells the most candy. A weekend pass to Coastal Kingdom to get out there and sell that candy.
The Volkswagen Passat. It only looks like $1 million.
When it comes to food, a lot of places have silly ideas to bring you in. But once you get to the taste, where's the fresh? Hey, Clucky, want something made fresh? Uh-huh. Come on. Try one of the new Subway Selects made on fresh-baked gourmet bread. Susie?
Right, Tim. Subway's got 4 new Subway Selects, like the delicious horseradish steak and cheese, all on fresh-baked gourmet bread and all made fresh right in front of you.
Whoa, check out that check. Just kidding.
So the bun cake was bad. The bun cake was abysmal, but you're missing the point of the story. The entire staff has food poisoning, leaving packages to be shipped, deadlines to be met, and one sales manager to do it all. Just one? One. He didn't have the bun cake. He had the Danish. Say with me. He jumps on FedEx.com. He's shipping. He's tracking. Getting confirmations on his cell phone. His pagers, PDA. He's got a PDA? Everybody's got a PDA. Nevertheless, packages arrive. He triumphs over adversity. I don't have PDA. Check, please.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Frustration on Chris Carter's face. You can go up and down the bench and look at everyone's, and it'll mirror the same look. Dexter Jackson with the interception. And Denny Green said, why are we 3-3, -8, now -9 on the turnover margin for the Vikings. So the Bucs on the 37-yard line give it to Mike Alstott, who scored 2 touchdowns rushing in the first half, and he picks up 5 on that clip. 90 yards on 23 carries and 2 touchdowns, playing for Warwick Dunn. It used to be they would alternate the running backs. Dunn, who played against the Vikings in the 20-16 loss a month ago in Minnesota. Now it's Alstott's turn, and he has delivered. 2nd down and 5, and here is Alstott. The way he delays and then cuts up the middle, despite the fact he doesn't have sheer speed, works to his advantage. He gets 3 on that play.
Well, he's not your typical big power runner. I mean, we talked about it in the first half, what great feet he has, and you know, it's actually worked to his disadvantage this year because with Clyde Christensen coming in, Warwick Dunn being the focal guy, they've asked Mike to go out and do a lot of different things. This is really only his 2nd opportunity to be the featured back in a running offense today.
And it worked at Green Bay, so Aaron Specker in the game, and on the slant, it's tipped away, and then incomplete is the pass. So it was Kenny Wright who tipped the pass away from Carl Williams, and that brings up 4th down.
Well, I think they're just trying to go to the well one too many times. This is pretty much a staple in their passing attack, the slants, and whenever they get into short 3rd down situations, that's a pass that they like to throw, and you know, Kenny Wright just does a nice job of getting a hand in there and breaking that pass up.
And Orlando Thomas looking for the pick, couldn't hold on, so here's Martin Gramatica. This is a 48-yard attempt. He connected from 44 yards out moments ago, and Gramatica's kick is up and good. So the Buccaneers have now scored on their last 6 possessions and stretched their lead to 34-0.
The chase is on for the most lethal criminal in the universe. And when the clock hits 0, he's crossing over to our world. The One, rated PG-13, opens Friday.
There's a different way to look at your money.
What's it say?
ING. It's not an ending. It's a beginning.
Take me out to the ball game. Llévame a gozar. 사주세요 땅콩과 crack to check. 꼬꼬꼬니 이요요. Cause it's root for the home team. Sinergang fase dommage. When it's in. Tres stripes va. It's the old ball game.
The Roman aqueducts have stood here since 145 BC, able to endure centuries because of an engineering marvel, the arch. A curved structure so incredibly strong that even when great pressure is applied to it, it holds its shape. A design with such strength and integrity that to this day, modern man has yet to improve upon it.
Get ready for the new season of Ally McBeal.
Maybe it's just the freakish women who are drawn to me.
I'm just being sensitive now.
Hello! Is this seat taken?
With a surprise around every corner.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you today?
You lose. Take.
Ally McBeal season premiere at 9/8 Central tomorrow on Fox.
The Minnesota Vikings getting thumped by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 34-0. Nearly 5 minutes gone by in the 3rd quarter. Dramatic is the kickoff to Jacquet, returning from the end zone. Nate Jacquet hit at the 16 by Rondé Barber. Randy Moss has not caught a pass today. They have gone his way on 3 occasions, but he has come up empty. And here's a guy who has to get into the scheme of things early, but it's because the Vikings have just not had the ball enough. As you see, Culpepper's thrown for 24 yards. Chapman, the leading rusher at 9, and the leading receiver with 2.
Well, and the best way for them to have more opportunities is to start getting some first downs.
I don't think they have any. They don't. Play clock running down. They get it off in time. And the pass downfield, and another flag comes down, and it's Chris Carter with a long pass play. Now, let's see if there's a flag behind the 10-yard line. No, it is not, but the flag was upfield, 37 yards gain. Jerry Austin.
Illegal contact, 20 of the defense, penalty is declined. First down.
So Rondé Barber, and they'll decline the penalty on illegal contact.
Well, you take a look at Dante Culpepper, and he's audible, and he sees that he's got one-on-one matchup with Chris Carter. He's trying to get it out to the receivers. What he's going to do, Chris Carter, he's going to run a double move. Rondé Barber gets a hand on him. That's what they call him for. But that's the kind of play that they need to spark this offense.
That's their first down, but not the first time they've been in Bucs territory. Fumbling the snap out of the shotgun is Culpepper, and he ends up picking up 1 yard when all is said and done. It's amazing when a team like the Minnesota Vikings, with their prolific offense, don't get their first down till 5 or 6 minutes into the third quarter of a game. 2nd and 9 at the 42. Flag is down before the play gets underway, and a false start.
5 yards.
This is a team out of sync and a lot of talking going on at the line.
Yeah, and Sapp, he likes getting in the face of the quarterbacks and letting him know what he thinks. We talked before about him and Brett Favre, and here he is getting in the face with Dante Culpepper, and Dante's getting right back at him. And you can tell there's a lot of frustration going on with everybody, and it probably had a little bit something to do with this play right here. And Sapp using Culpepper's helmet to get up off the ground.
Right now, the Bucs linebacker group is Quarles, Singleton, and Webster. Brooks is out of the game, getting a rest with the injured foot. 2nd and 14. Pressure put on Culpepper, and they'll call it incomplete to Kleinsaucer as we check in on a game break with James Brown in L.A. JB.
All right, 1-9, back to Dick, Troy, and Darryl. You're always right, buddy. I don't argue with you.
Well, when they say you're always right, they throw it to you guys. I like to hear that.
Yeah, that's good, especially coming from JB.
Yeah. 24-13, the Rams lead the Saints. It's 3rd down and 14. And there is Culpepper's pass, and it's caught by Randy Moss, so he finally gets into the act. And a 19-yard play and a 1st down.
That's their first 3rd down conversion. Randy Moss working up the field against Donnie Abraham. He's going to run a square in there, and Dante does a nice job of hanging in the pocket and getting him the football, but that's just something that they've been unable to do up to this point in the ball game, is get the ball down the field into the hands of their playmakers.
Get them the darn ball, as somebody once said.
That guy's in the locker room.
Yes, he is, with a knee contusion. That's Keyshawn Johnson. 1st down, Culpepper. He has not run today until now. And Culpepper spinning his way to a 1st down at the 17-yard line. And a flag is thrown.
And Dante's upset again. I think he got a late hit on the sideline.
Personal foul, late hit, 34 defense. Have a distance to the goal. 1st down.
Dexter Jackson on Culpepper.
And you'll see right here at the end of the run, Dante's not one of those guys that will run out of bounds. He's going to turn upfield. He wants to make more yards. And you'll see right here at the end as he goes down, that's not even the one. It's this one coming up. Well, actually, I guess it was Nate Webster, not Dexter Jackson, that got him.
They gave the number 34, which is just Dexter Jackson. He was not in the play. It was on Nate Webster, number 52. It is a 1st down and goal for the Vikings on the 8-yard line. Game 2 of the World Series tonight. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Quarterback draw, and getting to the goal line and stopped short of the goal line is Dante Culpepper. So that'll bring up 2nd and goal. Webster and Nate Jackson, and now Culpepper got a shove and went after one of the Buccaneers. And it might have been Warren Sapp.
Well, Sapp and Dante, they got a little something going. And
Corey Withrow is eligible, comes in as a tight end. There you see Culpepper and Sapp, and you know, not much difference in size.
Well, you don't normally see quarterbacks hitting Warren Sapp, but like you mentioned, Dick, they are the same size.
Second and goal, and driving in is Travis Prentice. Touchdown. Travis Prentice.
For the score.
One of many former Cleveland Browns on the Minnesota Vikings, getting in for the touchdown, the first score of the day for the Vikings, and it comes with 6:28 remaining in the third.
Well, that's the drive that they had to have. They needed to get into position to get that first touchdown under their belt. It looks like they may be going for two here.
Yeah, I think when you're down the 34-0, points become important, and they've been 2 for 2 thus far on two-point conversions this year. So here comes the two-point conversion coming up for Minnesota. And the whistle blows as the Buccaneers calls timeout. Dante Culpepper with a broken nose, suffered early in the game. On the drive, and Travis Prentice with the first touchdown for Minnesota.
Hey, those are kids you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about your ordinary fast food. Boring, lifeless. Wake me when you're done eating. Or you could try KFC honey barbecue wings, drenched in the Colonel's tangy yet sweet.
Here's the two-point conversion. And here is Culpepper. He's got some time. Does he have anyone? Dive. And he gets in. Dante Culpepper couldn't find a target and dove over the plane to get the two-point conversion. And so the Buccaneers lead now is 34-8.
That is pathetic.
Hey, those are kids you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about your ordinary fast food. Boring, lifeless. Wake me when you're done eating. Or you could try KFC honey barbecue wings, drenched in the Colonel's tangy yet sweet sauce, full of intense flavor.
Hurry, get 8 KFC honey barbecue wings for only $2.99 or 20 for only $6.99.
Oh, Cowboy, little help here. This gives me so much joy. There's fast food, and then there's KFC.
Let's sound it out for your Pittsburgh Steelers!
I don't care what stadium you work for, all right? If you want to write a check for who let the dogs out, I'm still going to need to see some ID.
Next time, use the Visa check card instead of cash or checks. It'll get you in, out, and on with life.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. By cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Never miss a genuine opportunity. By The One, starring Jet Li, rated PG-13, opens November 2nd. And by Nike. We're back in Tampa where the Buccaneers lead 34-8 as Minnesota getting the touchdown, the two-point conversion. Tony Dungy has had a history of slow starts in the last few years. Look at those numbers, losing records other than 1997. But the team somehow always wins the game they need to go, and they go on to double-digit victories by the end of the year.
Yeah, and they go on. And this year there's been so much speculation about Tony Dungy's job security. And to me, that's absolutely amazing that someone that's accomplished what he's accomplished for this franchise, there would even be talk like that. And people fail to remember what this franchise was like prior to him coming here. And all of a sudden the bar continually gets raised to where going to the playoffs and competing for a championship is no longer good enough. And to me, it's very unfair.
And I love his response. The fact is, when people question him, he says, he looks at it, are we doing things the best way we can, or are we doing the things that we do in an effective way? And really, it's his stance on playing the game the way that he thinks it should be played.
Penalty flag is down. You can hear the collision, and somebody has the ball, and it's a big guy. And I'll tell you who he is. Washington, number 75. And a Viking is shaken up. There's a flag on the play, and a Viking shaken up fair and right. Back of the 30-yard line.
Offside on the kicking team, number 22. Penalty is declined. First down.
Offside on Tyrone Carter is declined, and so let's listen to the sound. Washington. He can motor.
And Dick, what I liked was there was no indecision on his part. I mean, he picked that thing up and he took off running, and I think Tampa Bay has just found a new fullback for this football team.
Not only on top of that, but look at the ball security here. He's switching it to the outside arm, gets a little stiff arm out there. You know, that was the last guy to beat, too. You know, you got the kicker coming over, but I think Todd's going to, or that's Chris Walsh, actually. But I tell you what, that's not only a heady play, but some great technique once he got out there.
22-yard return by Todd Washington. And there is Alstott changing direction, and another big gain for Alstott. 18 yards. So
if we're going to talk about what happened last week against Pittsburgh, you have to give them their credit today. Kenyatta Walker has played so much better today than he did last week. Look at that. He takes his man all the way across and finishes him to the ground. And then Mike Alstott, taking a lesson out of the Todd Washington book, lowered his head and finished that run.
You know, Alstott has had 4 rushes of 10 or more yards today, and that was one of them. And getting back to Todd Washington, he was a running back in high school, as if he didn't know, in his 4th year from Virginia Tech. Licking their chops after a loss to the Orange, I might add. First and 10 at the 38-yard line for the Buccaneers. And a play-action pass to Moore. Dave Moore, the tight end. And getting 3 yards with Ed McDaniel on the tackle as we wind down to 5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Bucks with a big 34-8 lead. Well, Tampa Bay opening it up today and very efficient. Brad Johnson has completed all but 7 passes, 2 touchdowns. Mike Alstott has scored twice, gone over 100 yards rushing, 110. Keyshawn Johnson, who has a contusion of the right knee, had 5 catches in the first half. Second and 7, blitz picked up. The slant caught by Carl Williams, still on his feet and getting inside the 20 for a gain of 17.
You take a look at the offensive line, and that's where it starts. And these guys have done a great job. We talked about it. Ed McDaniel from Minnesota is trying to come up inside. They just stone him inside. Allows Brad Johnson to throw the football. And then you got Carl Williams jumping inside of Kenny Wright. Just a great execution on the offensive line's part, and then Brad finding him and getting him the football.
And the Buccaneers, Clyde Christensen, and despite no Jacquez Green or Warwick Dunn and Keyshawn Johnson in the second half, they have some weapons, including this man, Mike Alstott, who gets it down to the 15-yard line, 5 yards short of the first down, as we send it to James Brown in Los Angeles for a game break.
Hey, Dick, after weathering the 24-6 halftime deficit, Brooks and the Saints coming back. Brooks hooking up with Joe Horn, 6-yard strike, 2nd touchdown reception by Horn. 2-point conversion by Ricky Williams is no good. They're short, but it's 24-22. St. Louis nursing a 2-point lead. Back to Dick, Troy, and Darryl.
Aha! Stay tuned.
That's turned into quite a rivalry there in the NFC West.
The Saints have won the last 2 against that team, and there is Alstott. Alstott dragging Stalin Colonnay and getting 5 yards. And looks like they're short of the first down by about 1 yard with under 3 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter.
Do you think that that rivalry has anything to do with the personalities of the 2 coaches involved?
Well, according to Bradshaw, it does.
Jim Hassel's going to be trying to get in touch with Terry this week.
A 3rd down and 1 for the Buccaneers, trying to answer the only score of the day by the Vikings. And there's Alstott. He's going to score again. Standing up, Mike Alstott with his third touchdown, and a flag is down back at the 12-yard line. 2 penalty markers, in fact. We'll wait for Jerry Austin.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness, number 67 of the offense after the score. The touchdown count, the penalty will come on the kickoff.
Kenyatta Walker.
Hey, you know what? If I'm Tony Dungy right now, I don't care about that penalty. Because of the score of this football game and the way it's going, Kenyatta Walker needs to play this way. He needs to be more aggressive. He needs to get a little bit of anger. He needs to get upset sometimes on the football field. So I think that's a good thing right now for Tampa.
Well, Mike Alstott thinks this game's a good thing for him. A 10-yard touchdown run, his third TD of the day. He scored the first 2 touchdowns for the Bucs. And now the latest, Martin Gramatica adding the extra point. And the Buccaneers have opened up a 41-8 lead. No done? What difference does it make? Alstott's gotten it done today.
In a world of uncertainty, there will always be a need for those proud few who can prove they are a world apart. Maybe you can be one of us, the few, the proud, the Marines.
Look, I know Circus City's doing this expo thing, but we're busy. Get what you need, we're out of here. Agreed?
Yes.